Hey, what's going on everybody? I got something really cool to show you. This recipe was sent to me today. Actually, I wouldn't really call it a recipe. This is more like a methodology. So anyway, this was sent to me today because it was going viral all around the Chinese websites. And I took a look and my first reaction was, this can't be real. I didn't think it was real because it's too simple. It will basically be the most simple dish that you can ever make. And it's actually a dish. It's actually something you could eat as a meal, like for dinner. And then my second reaction was, okay, why didn't I think of that? Basically what this dish is you take a whole tomato and then you take some rice, put it in the rice cooker, add some seasoning, put the whole tomato in there and just cook it like you're cooking the rice. And afterwards, you're gonna get a fantastic dish. It's that simple. So let me show you how this works. This is all you need to make this dish. So I have a organic tomato. It's a good sized tomato. It's a large tomato. I have a rice cooker. Some of you might be going, ooh, that's a pretty fancy rice cooker. Well, you know what? It is a fancy rice cooker and it's pink. Also, check it out, check it out. Look how cute my rice cooker is. Isn't that the most beautiful rice cooker like ever? So here's what you need to make this dish. You need a large tomato like I have. You'll need 2 teaspoons of good olive oil. You need 2 teaspoons of salt, and I'm using sea salt here. And you need half a teaspoon of pepper. Also 2 cups of rice. And obviously my rice is sitting in here with the water already measured. I'm not gonna get into in this video about how to make rice with a rice cooker. You should already know that, or just follow the rice cooker instructions. The key here is actually the tomato. You want to make sure your tomato is a very ripe tomato. Don't use like a green tomato or a tomato that's a little too firm. Make sure it's completely ripened. And also take off the stem here. Get rid of that. And also get rid of that part right there. So I'm just going to cut this out. Okay, so check out how simple this is. I take my salt and pepper and I sprinkle that in to my rice. I take my olive oil and I go ahead and pour that in. And the grand finale, I take my tomato and in it goes, right in the middle, right there. All right, then what you do, put it into your rice cooker. You guys remember that chicken rotisserie cooker commercial, infomercial that's always on TV and the guy's like, just set it and forget it. Well, that's what we're gonna do right here. We're just gonna close this rice cooker up and then we're gonna cook and that's it. My rice cooker, when it's cooking, see how cool it is? It's like, it gives you like a little spinny thing. I don't know what that means really. And look, an animated rice cooker. It tells you what it's kind of doing inside. That's cool. This is really exciting. 1 minute left. I love that my rice cooker does a countdown for me. This way I can anticipate. Oh, it's done. Let's take a look at what's inside. Whoa, look at that. Now what you do is take a spoon or whatever and you mash the tomato and the rice all together. Whoa, did you see that explosion of tomato juice that just popped out? It's insane. All right, let's mix this all up. Oh, this smells amazing right now. Didn't think something so simple could smell so good. Alright, so now my rice is getting all tomato-y. That is a word, tomato-y. As I'm mixing this, I smell the olive oil with the tomatoes and it smells really, really good. Alright, let's try this. Alright, here we go. This is my tomatoes and rice. Let's give it a taste. This is really good. You know what it tastes like? You ever had the tomatoes and egg dish, the saucy, really saucy tomatoes and it kind of gets into your rice? That's what it tastes like. It's not overly salty. The flavor is actually really good. This is really tomato-y. I think if you really like your food saltier, then maybe you should put an extra half a teaspoon of salt in there. But this is actually pretty perfect for me. The flavor is really light. This is actually really good, really delicious. And you gotta eat this when it's hot. The pepper The black pepper actually makes this dish a little spicy. I didn't think the black pepper would actually make that big a difference, but it actually makes quite a difference. I think also, if you want your rice tomato-y-er, then maybe what you can do is you can even pour more than like 1 tomato in there and make it really saucy. But no joke, this is legit. This is really good. For something so simple, this is really good. Now, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna jazz this up a bit because obviously this is really simple and this was so easy to do. I wonder what would happen to this dish if I put in some other ingredients. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna cook another serving of this dish. I'm gonna add some ingredients that I think will make this dish even better. This is what I'm gonna add in my new batch of tomatoes and rice. Of course, I got my tomato. I'm gonna add a couple scallions because I think scallions go really good with rice. This is a trumpet mushroom. I'm gonna cut this up and put it in. I wanted to put in some bacon, but since I'm in New York, I'm like, what's better than bacon? Well, cha shao is better than bacon. So I'm gonna put this roast pork cha shao inside my rice as well. And obviously, if you don't have access to this, I would say put in some bacon. I'm just putting this instead of bacon. And then I thought I wanted something kind of crunchy in the rice because the rice is kind of soft. There's no crunchy element to it. I'm gonna put in some preserved pickled radish. I think this will go really well inside my rice. So I'm gonna go ahead and chop all this up. I diced everything up as good as I can because I want everything to kind of mix in with my rice. I don't want like a long strip of cha shao or a long strip of mushroom. I want it all kind of to integrate into my rice. So I have all the ingredients. I'm adding additional to my, of course, 2 teaspoons of olive oil, 1 teaspoon of salt, and ½ teaspoon of pepper. You can see here I'm adding a bunch of mushrooms, but I'm not adding any additional salt because the saltiness of the cha shao is definitely going to compensate for that. Also the saltiness of my pickled radish. And I have a lot of cha shao here. This is actually, I didn't want this much, but the guy cut me this much. And being a meatitarian myself, yeah, I'm gonna just use all of it. Because my philosophy is, nobody's ever cried because there was too much cha shao in their rice. Come on. So if you're using bacon at home, use as much as you want. It's fine. The unhealthiness of the bacon is gonna get balanced out by the healthiness of the tomato. Okay, not really, but it'll make you feel better. So I'm gonna put in my salt and pepper. I'm gonna put in my olive oil. My mushrooms are going in. I love mushrooms. I love me some mushrooms. And then I'm gonna throw in my pickled radish. My cha shao goes in. Okay, this thing is overflowing. And then the rest of my mushrooms and my green scallions. Actually, I forgot to put my tomato in first. So you actually should put your tomato in first so it can have contact with the rice. Okay, here we go. So this is what my dish looks like going into the rice cooker. Let's set it. And we will check back with it when it's done. All right, so my second batch is done. Let's take a look. That looks pretty darn good. Okay, let's pop. Whoa, see how that tomato just like went everywhere? Let's mix all this together and see what we got. Give this a good mixing. Love a good mixing. This smells incredible, by the way. Let's see how this tastes. Check it out. Yep. All right, let's give this a taste. That's pretty darn good. My preserved radishes are still crispy. Let's try the cha shao roasted pork. See, I'm a meatitarian. I'm not a carnivore. When I think of a carnivore, I think of a velociraptor. Meatitarian just sounds more civilized, you know? So I gotta have some meat in my rice. To me, all this fits. I think if you have bacon or sausage in here besides the roast pork cha shao, I think that'd be pretty good as well. You know what really works well is the trumpet mushrooms. It's still really crunchy. It's really nice. Gives it a really nice texture. Because the rice is gooey and the mushroom is really crunchy. So that's a nice contrast. It's reddish, it got a little green from the scallions and also the pickled relish. This is good eating. You know what might make this even better? I got just the thing. I have just a little bit of hot oil left. check this out. Mix it in a little bit. Let's see if this works. That was what this dish was missing. You cook it, then you put on some hot oil. Seriously, that was the ingredient that put this over the top. Oh, so good. Recipes and everything in the description box below. Guys, be creative with this dish. You can put all sorts of stuff in there and let me know what you experimented with and how that turned out. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. See you later. Hey, what's going on, everybody? I got something really cool to show you. This recipe was sent to me today. Actually, I wouldn't really call it a recipe. This is more like a methodology. So anyway, this was sent to me today because it was going viral all around the Chinese websites. And I took a look and my first reaction was, this can't be real. I didn't think it was real because it's too simple. It will basically be the most simple dish that you can ever make. And it's actually a dish. It's actually something you could eat as a meal, like for dinner. And then my second reaction was, okay, why didn't I think of that? Basically what this dish is you take a whole tomato and then you take some rice, put it in the rice cooker, add some seasoning, put the whole tomato in there and just cook it like you're cooking the rice, and afterwards you're gonna get a fantastic dish. It's that simple. So let me show you how this works. This is all you need to make this dish. So I have a organic tomato. It's a good sized tomato. It's a large tomato. I have a rice cooker. Some of you might be going, ooh, that's a pretty fancy rice